Before I start this video, I want to say that I do not think I'm better than anyone because I don't have social media, and I'm definitely not making this video to brag or anything like that. I know social media can really work for some people, but for me personally, it became very toxic. So this is my experience and my story. Let's start at the beginning. My first memory of social media is MySpace, which I believe I got in 7th grade, which is really young, but I know kids now are getting social media so much younger, which is so wild to me. I am so grateful that the internet did not exist when I was a kid. Yes, we got into some weird stuff, did some very, very questionable things, but we were outside. Okay, social media, MySpace, 7th grade. All my friends and I really cared about was making our profiles look cute, picking the perfect profile songs, and rearranging our little friends in the top 8, which did cause some drama at times. But for the most part, MySpace was chill and it was fun. Then came Facebook. So my little friends and I ran over to Facebook and left MySpace in the dust. Totally forgot about it. Being a teenager at this time, social media felt fun and carefree and like a great way to document our lives and share it with others. I remember my friends and I used to literally upload every single photo from our camera rolls into Facebook photo albums. We wouldn't even analyze the photos or pick and choose which ones were going on Facebook. Literally anything and everything was going into a Facebook photo album. I love that we did this though, because it felt so carefree and innocent, and I'm so grateful that I got to live through this iconic era of the OG photodump days on Facebook. But then came Instagram. Instagram quickly became my favorite social media platform and is what really turned me into a relentless cyber zombie. For me, this is the point of when social media went from being real life to a performance of life. I would scroll Instagram countless hours every single day. Literally every dead space or moment of silence was filled with scrolling. I would be scrolling, put my phone down, then literally within 5 seconds, I'd be scrolling again without even realizing it. And this is not normal. I know it may seem normal because everyone around us is doing it, but we are not meant to be staring at our screens all day and looking at what thousands of other people are doing. Since 2021, I have had an on-again, off-again relationship with Instagram. I would deactivate it for a week, sometimes a month at a time, but I kept coming back. But every time I did come back, I would realize how little I'm missing out on there, and I didn't even enjoy being on the app anymore. But as long as I had it on my phone, I would keep scrolling. By January of 2023, I had had enough. I was so tired of this on-again, off-again thing I had with Instagram. So I deactivated it again, and I have not looked back since. So it's been 1 year since I've been off of Instagram, and I honestly have zero desire to be on the app ever again. The only way I would ever get it is if I started some business and used it solely for that. I do want to say that Instagram was the only problematic social media platform for me. I never had TikTok or Snapchat. I do still have Facebook because Facebook Messenger is my grandma's favorite form of communication. She's just so obsessed with Facebook Messenger. She's literally sending my family and I photos of herself every single day. So as long as she is on this earth, I will have Facebook. Other than that, I don't even use Facebook at all. I actually don't even have the app on my phone. I obviously still have YouTube, but YouTube is not toxic or problematic for me because of how I use it. The first thing I noticed almost immediately after deleting Instagram was how much time I had in the day. At first, it did feel a bit like, okay, now what? But I was left with a choice to either be intentional with all of this extra time I had, or to fall back on things like YouTube or Netflix. And I'm not gonna lie, I did fall back on YouTube at first, and I was doom scrolling YouTube shorts for probably the amount of time that I was used to spending on Instagram, which was hours every single day. My screen time was so insane. But I quickly realized this and I deleted the YouTube app from my home screen and took a little break from it. And when I did return to YouTube, I was much more intentional about how I spend my time on there. Now I had all of this extra time to really sit with myself and reflect on my life and my goals and what I want, what truly makes me happy, what my real values are, who I even am as a person. I feel like nowadays people don't even really know who they are because they are so distracted. They know what they watch. They know what they eat. They know what they like. They know what they don't like. But they don't know what their real values are or what they even really need. They think they are what they consume. But if everything were taken away from them, they wouldn't really have a sense of identity. And this is how I felt at first, a bit lost feeling. When you spend a good chunk of your time online every single day, it's so easy to be influenced by other people's thoughts, ideas, and style. Now that I had all of this freed up time, I was able to really sit with myself and focus on what my real values are and what truly makes me happy, which all turned out to be such simple things like taking my dog for a walk, cooking, being in nature. I'm also much more in tune with my personal style. I feel like social media can be a great place to express yourself, but at the same time, it can really create a herd mentality and take away from individuality. I always had a vision of what I wanted my life to look like, but I realized that I was not progressing towards my ideal life because of procrastination and being so distracted. Since deleting social media, I have fallen in love with things that I've always wanted to do, but felt like I didn't have the time for, like cooking, for example. And now I take my dog on so many more walks than I used to, and it's become one of my favorite things to do. I genuinely look forward to it every single day. I talk to my family so much more than I used to. I enjoy being in nature so much more than I used to. Everything in my life used to feel so rushed, and I used to feel so impatient with everything and really had a hard time slowing down. I feel like since I've been away from social media, my life has slowed down, yet become more productive. And who wouldn't want that? With all of this extra time, small daily tasks like cooking, cleaning, laundry, walking my dog have become so much more enjoyable and even therapeutic feeling. I actually look forward to doing these types of things now, and before I used to dread it. I also realized that I've become so much more patient with myself, with others. I'm able to actually sit down and do things for the actual duration that I want to do them, like journaling, meditating, reading. 20 to 30 minutes is really not a long time, but it feels like a long time when you're so distracted and you feel like there's not enough time in the day. The next thing I noticed is that once my social media went away, so did a lot of my friends. Deleting social media will weed out your friends, and this idea may seem sad or harsh at first, but it's a blessing in disguise. I realized that a lot of these people are not really my friends. I didn't have a genuine connection with these people that I would interact with on a daily basis through reacting to each other's stories or liking each other's posts. It doesn't mean that I don't like these people. It's just that once my social media went away, so did they. At first, it did feel a bit lonely and isolating, but it makes you realize who your true friends really are. Getting off of social media will show you which friends care about keeping in contact with you and which friends you care about keeping in contact with. It's so wild to me to think about how I was constantly looking for validation from these people who don't even really know who I am, and I don't even really know who they are. And this brings me to my next point, which is that I have really lost that need for external validation from others. And this is so huge for me because for years I was living for the validation from others and not even really living for myself. Whenever I would be feeling down or bad about myself, I would post what I thought would get likes, comments, attention, and once those likes and comments came through, I'd feel my confidence go up, but once those likes and comments slowed down, I would feel my confidence go down with them. And this is something I feel a bit embarrassed to share, but this was the reality of it, and it felt like a toxic, never-ending cycle. When I would go on vacation, I would be so concerned with how the memories looked on social media more than how the moments actually felt. Social media would make my vacation stressful, and after I would make a post or post a story, I would be checking my phone to see who liked it, who commented on it, who saw it. This is not normal. I felt so out of control. When I wasn't obsessing over my own posts and stories, I'd be scrolling on my phone all day looking at what everyone else is doing while I'm on vacation. I was not present at all. I remember one time when I went home to Hawaii to visit my parents, and I was obsessively posting Instagram stories and scrolling, and I was getting really frustrated because I kept telling myself, put the phone down, spend time with your family, that's why you're here. And I would put the phone down, but literally within 5 seconds, I'd be back on my phone scrolling without even realizing it. I would also spend so much time analyzing selfies, picking apart every single detail on my face and my body before posting them. And this brings me to my next point, which is that I now take way less selfies and less photos in general. Since deleting social media, I only really take photos when the moment feels really special and sacred. This has allowed me to be so much more present in my life and enjoy moments so much more. When I had Instagram, I would take so many photos every single day of things that didn't mean anything to me, like my latte or anything aesthetic, just to post it in my story and get that empty validation from people that I don't even talk to in real life. In general, I am so much more at peace without social media. I feel so much more confident and comfortable in my own skin. I do feel like caring less about what people think of you comes with getting older, but I do feel that deleting Instagram has really accelerated that for me. I realized that when I had social media, I wouldn't get very excited about things in my real life. I used to think that it was from getting older and adulting, but now I realize that it was because I was so distracted looking at what thousands of other people were doing every single day. Social media is not real life. It's a performance of life. And our brains are not meant to be taking in this much information at one time. It causes stress and comparison. And when you're constantly comparing yourself to others, that will diminish your self-love. I could talk about this all day, so I'm gonna stop this video here. I'm not here to judge at all. I really hope that you gain some insights into what you can maybe expect if you do decide to step away from social media. I know I talked about Instagram a lot, but this can really relate to any social media platform that you spend a good chunk of your day on. If you are considering stepping away from social media, I say just give it a try because you really are not losing anything. With Instagram, for example, all you have to do to reactivate it is log in again and everything will be there. And the last thing I want to say is to just really be kind to yourself because this process will look different for everyone. It's going to be easier for some and harder for others. I promise you will find some good from doing this. If you guys made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching and maybe I will see you guys in another one. Thank you. Bye.